Good afternoon, everyone. I believe it was in 2012 that my name started floating and people started getting to know me because it was when SM was condemned for cutting down trees in Baguio City. Today, I want to tell you why that was the right decision and what it taught me about leadership. Across SM City, Baguio, is the University of Cordilleras, the oldest post-war university in the region. It sits on a hillside and serves thousands of students. Sometime in mid-2011, I noticed signs of potential soil erosion on the slope above the campus where our mold stands. Each rainfall risks sending soil down the classrooms below. I could not sleep knowing the danger it posed to the school. The only way to keep the campus safe was to build a retaining wall and reinforce the ground. That required the removal and relocation of several trees in SM Baguio property. As someone who long cared about the environment, it was a very hard decision to make. Unfortunately, many saw the act and not the intent. Despite our efforts to explain the situation, many accused SM of betraying the environment for financial gain. Their reactions were harsh. A foreign artist even canceled a concert at our arena in protest. Fast forward, we finished the work anyway. The hillside held and the school remained safe. That choice of doing what is right, even when unpopular, sharpened my understanding of leadership. The incident also led to a truly unexpected blessing. I had a meaningful exchange with the head of United Nations Office of Disaster Risk Reduction, or the UNDRR. Our conversation led to another, and soon after, I was invited to serve as the first Filipino private sector representative to the UNDRR. And through Arise Global, I was able to share what SM has quietly practiced since the late 1980s: forward thinking and resilience. I now work across sectors to help communities prepare and recover faster from calamities. The Philippines sits in the Pacific Rim of Fire and the Typhoon Belt. We deal with earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and storms on a regular basis. For 21 consecutive years, our country has been named as one of the most disaster-prone nations. Our geography has made reality tougher than most countries. To some, that might be a reason enough to leave the Philippines, but my family and I, we chose to stay. I am 70 years old now, and I still hold only one passport, a Philippine passport. That is both a fact and a statement of faith. Despite the risks, the noise, and the many uncertainties, I have never doubted our country's promise or the strength of the Filipino spirit. Our nation is not perfect. Our people are not perfect. Yet many of us here remain and keep on going because we believe that hope is stronger than hardship. That life in the Philippines, no matter how difficult, is worth the struggle, and that in time, things do get better. It is hard to imagine now, but SM was built on hardship and hope. My grandfather got my father to dream big, not just to lift himself from poverty, but also to earn enough, more than enough, to help others. So from a single shoe store in downtown Manila, SM now has an ecosystem that includes real estate, banking, retail, schools, and more. Our scale has grown to allow us to turn growth into service, generating jobs, building infrastructures, and supporting scholars and livelihood nationwide. The SM journey has not been linear. We have been tested by political unrest, economic challenges, and natural disasters. A pandemic even closed our malls. After each test, we came out stronger, not because we were spared, but because we learned, adapted, and dreamt bigger. We were able to navigate these moments because two constants guided our choice, our values, and sustainability framework. In our family, we live by three core values: integrity, hard work, and humility. These are the same values we teach our people. Let me go through each one. We have very simple definition of integrity. My father would always say, whatever decision we make, we should be able to eat and sleep well. That belief guided SM's response to the pandemic. 3 days after the pandemic lockdown was announced, we decided to waive rent for our tenants nationwide. We did not wait for a government directive. We just knew it was the right thing to do. By end of 2020, we had extended over 23 billion pesos in rental concessions. Our income fell, but thousands of small businesses survived and jobs were protected. The financial risk we faced was real, but we made that call because that was how we were raised. Working hard is second nature to our family. We were raised to believe that there is dignity in every kind of work. My siblings and I still follow that rule today. We are in office or on site 6 days a week, but I would not really call it work. It is what we love to do. We enjoy meeting people, listening to customers, and learning from our employees. Each visit reminds us that there is always something to improve and to be grateful for. I would like to think that this is why none of us look our age, especially my two sisters, Tessie and Elizabeth. I believe most of you think they were my younger sisters. Next is humility, and the simplicity that comes from it has guided our family for 3 generations. When we were young, my children brought packed lunches to school. They had no allowance until they were old enough to understand the value of money. I remember my eldest son, Chico, once telling me that his 5 peso weekly allowance in grade 5 was not enough to buy a soft drinks at the canteen because soft drinks cost 10 pesos. I told him, "You can, if you save your allowance for 2 weeks." It was a brief conversation, but the lesson stayed with him to this day. At SM Prime, our sustainability framework is simple yet grounded in decades of experience. We call it ESG+R, or environmental stewardship, social inclusion, good governance, plus resilience. In 2006, a documentary film changed the way I viewed the environment. Watching Al Gore's An Inconvenient Truth made me realize that we could no longer just talk about climate change. We had to do more, so we did. We began recycling water as early as 1990s at the SM Mega Mall. It was more costly choice back then, but as climate risk grew, we kept expanding our effort. Today, water reuse is standard across our mall. We manage storm waters through large rainwater collection tanks and use smart fixtures and waterless urinals to conserve even more. We elevated our properties to reduce flooding and strengthen our roofs to withstand stronger typhoons. And that allowed us, in turn, to turn our rooftops into solar fields. And for everyone's information, last November 8, 2025, our solar farms has reached 100 megawatt peak capacity, and we intend to keep on going. Our commitment to social inclusion began in 2004 when a 15-year-old boy on the autism spectrum got lost in one of our malls. The noise, crowds, and unfamiliar settings overwhelmed him, causing anxiety and outbursts. One security personnel mistook for his unruly behavior and waved him off the building. Thankfully, our other guards helped his family and found him. That event transformed the way we serve our customer. It taught us that inclusion with awareness, but only matters when it leads to action. Since then, we have worked to make our people and spaces more compassionate. Our team undergo continuous sensitivity training to better assist persons with autism, Down syndromes, and other disability. Our malls have golf carts, resting areas, accessible parks, family-friendly spaces for everyone, regardless of age and ability, can move around with ease. Inclusion also extends on how we run our companies. At SM, family members and professional managers work together with a shared commitment to good governance. It guides how we make our decisions and how we choose our leaders. Our company presidents are non-relatives chosen from their expertise and integrity, whether they grew within the organization or joined from outside. We also have independent directors who are leaders in their fields and respected in both business and public service. Their common denominator is a deep sense of malasakit and accountability, grounded in the values that have shaped SM from the beginning. Last in the equation is resilience, which began not only as a concept but as an experience. In 1988, a fire raged for 4 days and gutted SM Makati. It was the hardest moments of my life. I will never forget it because it happened also on my mother's birthday. My father asked me to oversee the rebuilding of the store. When I went to the site during clearing operation, the heat was intense. The air was thick with smoke and ashes, and nothing could be salvaged. I told myself that no one should ever go through this. From then on, safety became a personal mission. In every SM properties, we started to install sprinkler system even before it was a requirement. We improve our design and planning by both using data and experience. We learn from every incident, no matter how small. That fire, while scary and traumatic, taught me the importance of prevention and preparedness. The events of the past few weeks remind us why values of ESG+R matters. They also show how losing integrity at the time when we are building climate resilience can be serious consequence. Like everyone here, I am affected by what is happening. It is painful to see our country suffer because of faults of a few. But when the road gets rough, you do not stop and turn back. You keep your hands on the wheel and stay on course. We in the private sector have the responsibility to create values, opportunity, and stability. That duty does not disappear when times are difficult. This is when it matters most. In 1970, when capital was leaving the country, my father chose a different path. He kept his money in the Philippines and invested in the expansion of SM. It was a bold choice, but it was the right one. We are making the same choice today. Despite weak sentiments and perceived risk, the SM Group continues to invest and believe in the Philippines. Nation building is hard work, but if we do what is right, even if it's difficult or unpopular, we can build the future. We can build a future where Filipinos live with dignity and hope. Receiving this award is both an honor and a responsibility. It is a reminder to do more for our country. With this in mind, I will devote more time and resources to help strengthen the Philippines. I will focus on areas where I can make meaningful differences. First, education. At National University, we will continue expanding access to affordable, quality education. Our goal is to reach 100,000 students by 2027 by opening more campuses and offering more courses. Second, resilience. Through Arise Philippines, we will keep working with LGUs to strengthen disaster preparedness and climate adaptation. We cannot stop natural calamities, but we can prevent them from causing greater harm. Third, community rebuilding. The Cebu earthquake damaged a few homes in SM Care Village. After relocating the affected families and listening to the residents, we chose to rebuild on the damaged site. Instead, we chose not to rebuild on the damaged site, but instead, we will build a church for the community. And finally, the future. We will keep on investing in developments and reflect what Filipinos truly deserve: smart cities, sustainable communities, modern infrastructures, and green spaces to promote progress, inclusivity, and well-being. With this effort, I hope to honor the privilege that I have been given and the legacy of my father. As I close, I want to thank the people who made the recognition possible: the Management Association of the Philippines, or MAP Board of Governors, led by Al Panillo, as well as members of the Search and Judging Committee, my families and children who are here now, for their unconditional love, support, and most especially, understanding. My siblings, especially Harley, who hardly goes out already, who have given so much of themselves to realize our father's dream and who have stood by our family through every challenges. Our employees and professional managers for their hard work, discipline, and commitment to delivering the SM magic to our customer every day. Our customers, tenants, suppliers, contractors, and stakeholders for allowing SM to be part of their daily lives and success. Most of all, to my father, who taught me everything I know, and my mother, who raised me to be the person I am today. Thank you.